The first mile, I was in 99th. My second mile, I was 57th. My third mile, I was 49th.
Hey, your coach said start passing people.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait, I passed almost like 50 people.
This is Sara Ruhela. She's a newcomer to the Spartans over in Mountain View. She's had a really good cross-country season. I looked at her PRs and I was impressed. And you know what? She came to us. She is the first girl to come to us and want to be interviewed. I want to see more of that. I take my hat off if I could. My hat's off to your courage. Thank you so much for coming to Strong Souls and wanting to be a guest today.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It's really such an honor to be here and talk about cross-country.
We've had some big guests. We've had Aiden Stephanopoulos. We've had Eli Fitch-and-Young. There is a girl that I'm not going to tell you who she is. She is an incredible performer. Her interview is coming out in the next couple of weeks.
I'm excited. I'm gonna be looking out for more episodes.
Okay, you had PRs across the board. How was your cross-country season in a nutshell? Did you surprise yourself?
I think I definitely did. I haven't done cross-country for as long as the others on my team. I ran on a team for the first time in 7th grade. I think I really surprised myself by how much I can handle, because high school cross-country is a whole different ballgame than middle school or anything before that. I think I'm really happy with all the PRs I've gotten. I push myself to do better every race. I think it's paying off.
We're going to talk about your PRs. You dug deep. You really demonstrated. I think you discovered some capability you've had that you didn't realize you had. We'll get to that. So you enjoyed your cross-country season. I mean, you're a freshman. This is your first high school running experience, and I think you had a really good time, didn't you?
I definitely did. It's amazing.
Track season is coming up. I can't imagine you have any background. I mean, do they even do track in middle school?
They do a little bit. I did it for one season in 8th grade, so I don't have that much experience in track. I did the 1500 a couple of times outside of school for another club. Other than that, I'm a little bit less experienced in track.
But are we going to see you in track?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, yeah. What are you thinking? Which events?
1600. I want to do 3200, but also I'm a little scared because I'm it's 8 laps on the track. Won't that be a little bit repetitive? Definitely 1600. It depends what events my coach puts me in. I don't know. I wanted to do the 800, but people are it's the hardest double. I'm just excited to experience high school track for the first time, so I won't really have a huge bias towards what events my coach puts me in.
You might check out Strong Souls episode 5, I think, is Kate Kinzel from Los Gatos.
Oh yeah, I watched that one.
Yeah, and she said the 3200 is a little boring. She says 8 laps around the track, it gets old. Well, I'm excited. I want to see you out there. And now that I know you, I'm taking pictures of you.
Great.
Okay, so you ran a little bit of cross country in 8th grade?
Yeah.
How far did you typically go?
Races in middle school, they were literally just around the school, the sidewalks around the school. So they weren't that long. I think the finals were 2 miles, and most of the races fluctuated from 1.2 to 1.6. I feel it was a good introduction to cross country. We had a pretty small girls team. I think there were less than 10 people. It was a little bit different than high school cross country, where there's almost 100 people on our team combined. Yeah, I don't really remember that much of my middle school cross country experience.
Mountain View is a D2 school. How many runners do you have on your cross country team?
I don't know fully, but I think the last time I checked, I think around 90 combined. It's a pretty big team.
Yeah, that's a lot.
To be a part of.
Is it heavier on JV or varsity?
I mean, there's definitely less varsity athletes because mostly just the top 10 are in varsity.
I looked at your personal records and I started doing something new with you. I not only look at your personal records, I look at your pace. And
I see.
That was impressive. So let's talk about your personal records. You ready to do that?
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Okay. At the Lowell Invitational up in San Francisco, you did 2.13 miles in 16:25.4, and you did that in a reasonable 7-minute, 42.5-second per mile pace. That's not bad.
Yeah. I remember during the race, my shoe came untied. It was a very interesting first meet experience. I remember being pretty disappointed actually after the race because I was I knew I could have gone faster, but I really didn't know how to pace this. My coach told me, he's it's fine. It's your first meet. It's kind of a rust buster because it's the first meet of the season for everyone here. I kind of brushed it off a little. I really like the course though. It's a nice course. It's cool and it's very foggy.
Now you started to build some confidence. You did the Ram Invitational, which is 2.7 miles, and you did that in 1952 flat. That's a 7:21.5 mile pace. That's 20 seconds faster than you did Lowell.
I remember RAM was still in like, I think it was late September. So it was still kind of the beginning of the season. My sister actually ran cross country up until her junior year. And she told me, she's like, oh, it's a really fun meet. It's going to be really nice, but there's huge hills. Everyone on the team, like kind of the older people, they were like, oh, it's a really fun meet. Just don't stress, just go into it. And so I was like, okay, like if you say so. I remember when we came to the meet at the front of Westmore High School, there's this huge hill. And then everyone like collectively gasps and they're like, we're going to be running up that. I was like, oh, running? I think I'm going to be walking up that.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's like that, right? It just goes, the angle of attack is crazy. We have lots of pictures and film of people going up it. And yeah, it's like people are just crawling up that initial hill.
We arrived and then I did my warm up and stuff. I walked the course this time, which I thought would help me a little bit more because I noticed that the first like 1.5 laps, I think, are on the track. So I remember I was with my friend and teammate. Her name is Gabriella. We were kind of like walking the course and we were kind of plotting how we're going to attack the hills and how we're going to use the flat part to our advantage.
Oh, I love it when you guys take it this seriously. That is dedication. That's really cool.
I mentally like set a little goal. I was like, oh, I'm going to, try to pace with her because I knew she was like a lot faster than me. So I was like, oh, if I can keep this up, then 2.7 miles shouldn't be that hard. I was like, oh, okay. I was feeling a little bit more relaxed. I remember during the race, I started running and we started like running on the track. And then I looked at my watch and I was like, why are we going at like a 5:30 pace? I tend to go out very fast. I like looked to my friend and I was like, we're going too fast. We need to slow down. She's like, no, just keep this up and then we'll slow down on the hills. And then I'm like, okay. The first hill comes. I'm like, oh, wait, this is bigger than I thought it would be because I don't know, I feel like you never really experience the hill until you are in the middle of it, kind of fighting to get to the top. And I hear my teammates, they're like, oh, Sara, you got this. And I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, but you finished the course in under 20 minutes, which for a freshman, that's not bad.
I think the hardest part of it was when there's this part where there's 2 hills in a row. So you think you're done and then you're like, wait, no. I was running it and I think I felt the best up until that last like big hill at the front of the school. And I was like, okay, I cannot stop running on this. That was my only goal. And so I was running. I think I started to speed up around like half a mile to go. I was feeling really good because I was like, okay, all the hills are done. I just have to finish strong. I really sped up at the end, which is something that I struggled to do. I remember my first thought when I finished that race was that's the best race I've ever ran, ever.
It was a decent pace. You did it in 7:21.5 per mile. For a freshman just starting out for that course, that's a pretty decent pace. Those hills are just brutal.
I loved it.
And then after the Ram Invitational, your next PR was at Crystal Springs and you made it to the Scaval Championships as a freshman. That is something to be proud of. It's a 2.95 mile course and you did that at 22 minutes, 25 seconds, 0.2. And that was a 7:36 pace. So that's a little slower than you did at the Ram Invitational, but it's longer. And let's just face it, Crystal Springs is brutal. In fact,
yes.
Did you have a strategy for Crystal Springs going in or were you just new to this?
I was definitely new. Like I'd run Crystal one time before. The first time I ran it, I knew I was like, I'm going to hate this course so much because it's so easy to go out way too fast. It's like, it tricks you. The first part is like a complete downhill and then you have to run up that hill again. I think it's so isolated because most of the race is between the trees and stuff until you get to like Heartbreak Hill. I didn't really have that much strategy going into Scaval Championships. I was just like, okay, I want to run faster than I did last time and I'm going to try to, like move up my places a little bit. That's it. Don't stop running.
You have to have a strategy for Crystal Springs. It would be cool if you got to know one of our runners, Aziza Acosta.
Oh yeah, I've heard of her.
She had an amazing PR delta because the first time she ran Crystal Springs, she didn't know the strategy for it. And then the second time, it was minutes. It was minutes of difference. It was crazy. So I have here your 5K record, which you did at Clovis, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you did that 5K in 21 minutes, 41 seconds, 0.8, which is pretty decent for a 5K, but you broke 7 minutes a mile. You did that in 6:59.1. You must have been pretty damn happy with that.
I was so happy. Like I can't even explain how good I felt afterwards. I remember Clovis was like my first big invitational, I guess, because teams from all across California were competing in this invitational. I remember kind of going into the race. There wasn't like my whole team wasn't there. So I was like, oh, it's a little bit less people, but I was just like, oh, I want a PR really bad on this course because I've actually run Woodward Park before. I did the 4K in a race like I think a year ago. So I was like, oh, just run faster this time. I knew there's going to be a lot more competition, like a lot more people and a lot more competition. And it's a very fast course. My main goal was just PRing. I was running throughout it. In the first mile, I looked at the clock and I was like, I did it in 6:50. And this is the first time I've broken 7 for the first mile. And I was really happy, but I was also like, oh, am I going too fast? Like, what's going on? Just like a few meters after that, my coach was on the side and he was like, okay, Sara, you're doing really good. Try to pass people now. And I was like, oh, I'm a little bit behind. I started to, like try to pass a few people as I went. I think I was like subconsciously just trying to push myself a little bit faster because I saw the course and I was like, oh, this course isn't as bad as I thought. I think a huge part of it was there were so many people, there was so much like competition, like peak racing energy in the air that I was just like, I need to go faster. I was just driven. I was running. I see like my assistant coach, like Coach Desi, and she's like, great job, Sara, only like half a mile left to go. And I'm like, okay, I keep running. And then I see my dad, he's like, Sara, you're in 47th place, keep going. There's like that last grass stretch. And I'm like, okay, great, this is done. And I was so happy. When I looked at the time when I like crossed the line, I was just like, oh my God, like I broke 22 minutes. This is the first time that's ever happened.
We're really happy for you too. That's great.
I was just so happy that I immediately went to check the race results. I saw that I finished in 49th place. I was like, okay, that's not that bad because there's a lot more teams this time.
49th out of how many total?
There were 172 people.
And you came in 49th.
Yeah.
You were well into the top third. That's pretty dang good.
Yeah, I finished and then I checked my results. For the first mile, I saw that I was in the 99th place. I looked at, my second mile and I was like, oh, I was at like 50th or so there. The first mile, I was in 99th. My second mile, I was 57th. My third mile, I was 49th.
Hey, your coach said start passing people.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait, I passed almost like 50 people throughout the whole race. And I was like, wow, I couldn't believe myself.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so fun to watch you guys discover the talent you didn't realize you had.
Definitely, yeah.
You did that at Clovis. Is Clovis your favorite course?
Yes, definitely. I think it's because I had my first like breakthrough race there. That was the best part about it.
What course do you not like?
Crystal Springs, easy. I hate it so much.
Well, what's come out though in the last few interviews is Crystal Springs is the only real cross-country course.
Definitely, because all the finals happen there.
I mean, the rest of the courses are all like golf courses or schools. The Lindbrook cross-country course is the one that cracks me up the most, the way they run through the center of campus and take all these turns. And
really?
Oh, wait till you do if you ever get to a Lindbrook cross-country invitational, you're going to be like, wait, what? What are we doing? This is cross-country? It includes part of the track, and you finish on the track.
Oh, interesting. I feel like most people say Baylands is their least favorite, which I get because it's very, very repetitive and there's little to none scenery. But also, I think it's a fact that you're seeing your team so much of the time that it's a little bit like it's pressure that you're like, oh, they're watching me throughout the whole race and not just little segments.
Baylands is great for photography. In fact, the Lindbrook kids running at Baylands is one of the title pictures on this podcast.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
All right. Have you been managing any injuries?
No, thankfully. I'm going to like knock on wood because it's my first season. I don't know if this counts. The Friday before Scaval finals, I was running like with my team. I was like, I think it was after a workout. It was like the cool down part. We were running on the curb and I kind of fell off the curb and like slammed my knee into the ground. And so I got like my knee joint was bruised pretty bad and I had to like ice it for a while. I think that was a little bit of a setback. Other than that, nothing really. There's a few like aches and pains here and there. Nothing too serious.
Do you have a pre-race ritual?
Yes, I have perfected it. So it works I have a different one for invitationals, which are on the weekends, league meets, which are on, Tuesdays. So we have to leave in the middle of school. You could say that it kind of starts with me just listening to music. If you ask anyone on my team, they will say that before races, my AirPods are like surgically attached. Like they do not come off until it's time to do strides. So I think that kind of like helps me lock in a little bit, like get ready before all the like race nerves start to kick in. Like on the bus, I would like kind of like do my hair and stuff, make sure it doesn't fall out or anything during the race. And yeah, during Baylands, I did like braids and then like one of them like came out and then I was like, oh no, like what happened?
Oh my God.
I was a little bit rushed. I was like, for invitationals, I'd say we have to leave pretty early in the morning. So I'd wake up around like 5:45 to 6 o'clock. I'd eat breakfast. I'd drink a little bit of water and then I'd like pack my stuff. My sister does my hair for invitationals because she's really, really good at it. I leave. I have my music on the way to the race. Like during warm up and stuff, I just like be with my friends and we'd walk the course and discuss and stuff. So
yeah, you calm each other down. You're anchors for each other. That's important. Nerves. My son often would just walk around and he would feel physically ill, like especially at Scaval championships and things. My younger son was just like, I just feel awful. And
oh, me too.
And then he'd go have a really good race.
It's like, I think before the race is more painful than the actual race because when you're first starting out, experience is like the best thing you can get. Like it's the best teacher. I feel like the more you like put yourself in uncomfortable positions like before the race, the more you learn to manage that. So I think think that's definitely a huge part of racing.
I have here a wonderful guest. She's been so entertaining to talk to. Sara Ruhela, who has dug deep and discovered that, hey, I can go faster than the last time. My paces are increasing. You went from a 7:42.5 pace per mile to a 7:21.5 pace per mile to, at Clovis, you broke 7. That's nuts. You made it all the way to the Skval Championships. That must have surprised you as a freshman. I think we're going to see a pretty awesome track season coming up. I am going to be definitely watching you. My wife is going to be watching you. We're definitely going to take some pictures, and I am really excited for the upcoming track season. Would you be down on being a guest on the handoff?
I would definitely be down for that. Thank you so much for offering.
Okay, well, let's reach out and see what happens, and I just hope you have the best track season that you can have. Keep your off-season training going. Don't push that mileage too much. Listen to your coaches, and thank you for being on Strong Souls. Thank you so much.